Welcome to Texas Card House's Moneymaker Tour Ladies Event Final Table. Very excited to be streaming to y'all live from the Westheimer location, where, as you can see, we have our final 9 set for the ladies event. Was a $240 buy-in, 10,000 guaranteed. Are going to see a bit of an overlay on this one. So we do have that $10,000 prize pool, and we are looking at $3,800 going to first place. So a lot of money to play for up top. Seeing some notable regular faces from Texas Card House games, and a couple of celebrities as well at the table. So once we start to get into the action, we'll introduce some of the players. But thank y'all very much for joining us. Very excited to see what's going to be, I'm sure, an exciting final table to really get this Moneymaker tour going here. As we can see, blinds are 3K, 6K with a 6K big blind ante.
I missed the part where he was announcing what
We're gonna 9-fold, 1-fold.
Need to be there and then so they can register.
If they don't register, we'll let you know.
Believe that when I checked prior to stream, average stack was about 105K, so a little bit less than 20 bigs that we're looking at for average.
6 races, 16
Ice Queen looking at a pretty ace-7 suited on the button. Does go ahead and raise and gets a call from Brandy G in the small blind. Does want to see 3 cards with the 5-2 suited.
Heads up.
Does find the best of it as well. It is going to lead out. Does get the fold from the Ice Queen and takes it down. Brandy G, welcome to the final table. Nice hand.
Hello there. Can you all hear me now?
Do want to introduce our other commentator as well to the booth, William Lottie. Thank you so much for joining us, my friend.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be doing the show with you, RJ. Glad that we got this audio sorted out. Sorry to be a tad late to the party, but I think we are going to have ourselves a party tonight.
Can't agree more there.
Glad to see you all in the chat as we have an all-in from SS Train, putting in about 10 bigs with a suited ace.
Yeah, very reasonable play there. Looks like Coach has a decision here with the King-Jack suited. Would be effectively all in for her as well.
Yeah, these are the spots that you get into as you get deep into the tournament. And only 5 players getting paid here, so we're not in the money yet. And yeah, we're far enough away that you can make this call as she's just called off her stack, it looks like.
Yeah, certainly agree.
Randy with a suited ace. I think this is a pretty easy fold at this point.
I agree. She does have both players covered, but SS Train moving all in pretty early and getting a call from Coach. I would agree with that fold. And now
we're going to see 5 cards now. Coach looking for King of Jack, some spades perhaps. SS Train looking to hold.
Pretty fair fight.
Gutter for the King Jack here.
Yep.
Few more
King Jack or a queen. You can see some of them are dead.
That's no help. Gonna need a paint card and a paint card alone. That's not it. If these graphics are right, that'll leave Coach with just a single solitary chip, a 1K chip. But hey, chip in a chair, right? That's what they say.
Yeah, exactly. All you need is one.
Very true.
I personally have not had that experience of chipping a chair coming back to make any money, but people have told me that it's possible.
I did it last year.
Oh,
Like
nice.
I got cut down. I got cut down to like less than one big blind, and ended up cashing that turn. It was like right after late reg, and then I get like 10 deuce against tens, and I suck out somehow, and I just keep winning all ins from there, and I end up in the money.
Well, Doyle would be proud.
See some familiar faces in this chat. Bet on Drew, a streamer in his own right. Poker Monkey, good to see you. We got James cheering for Ebony. Ebony, a very capable, accomplished player in C1. I've played with her a few times myself. Lots of fun to play with. So we see a bunch of
Fantastic to see
limping.
them.
Can you ask them? We have 4.5 minutes. And that's
Ebony gonna go for a free look here. Not sure how I'm supposed to pronounce that stream name, so I'm not even gonna try. Not enough vowels.
Yeah.
10, 9, 8. Couple of spades. And spade draw for Brandy. Open hand draw for Ebony.
We just have someone keeping a tally about how many times our minds change.
Brandy potting it here.
I can't believe he let us know right before
Brandy
the game
getting it
starts.
through.
Like, hey, if you guys want nicknames, and it's like, what are you doing? Well, this is what we
Brandy,
do.
some good hands so far. Had a chance to take it down with that 5 deuce, and now king 4. She's loving those suited cards, and they're working out well for her.
When I was in my right,
They sure are.
it took me like 30 minutes. Oh, it would have been like me.
At first, I thought you said if you were drinking white wine. I was like, what would the name
We
be?
can
if
see
you
the
were
player
drinking
chip
white
counts
wine?
here too at the bottom of the screen. Starting
Yeah.
off with Ebony with a pretty commanding 316k chip stack.
What would it be? Mimi the
We are now at 488, so that is almost 40 big blinds that she's got. Very healthy.
That's a lot.
And it is a quick structure, 20-minute blinds in this tournament.
names to get your name.
And player in C3,
Mimi the pimp walks with the law.
I guess this is supposed to...
Yeah. Name seems common today amongst the players. Beautiful ace queen suited. A very standard shove here. Less than 10 bigs.
Okay. 30-minute blinds, I'm told.
Does go ahead and find no resistance. Even with a hand as nice as ace queen suited, you do sometimes like to just go ahead and take it down without a fight.
Yeah, that's the ideal outcome with ace queen in my experience.
The parking lot hand, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so apparently there's supposed to be Pimp Daddy 1 and Pimp Daddy 2. Okay.
Ice Queen is trying to.
I have no idea what C3's actual name is. I don't believe I've ever met C3.
I'm here with the terrible jokes all day.
This is this, and that's
8 and 8.
8.
Can I get one more? Can I get one more card? Please, thank you.
And coach, no surprise here. Gonna go ahead and put the last of it in. 2 away from being forced to at the bigs.
Yeah, that'll get the job done, except unfortunately it's dominated. Any
Yeah.
king, you're usually happy to see it. And Brandy looking for some isolation. 2.5 bigs, standard sizing there.
Yeah,
Like
interesting
the,
call from seat 8 here.
If I'm going to play the ace-5 off, a 3-bet is probably going to work better. And
There
it's
we
going
go.
to prevent Ebony from moving all in, which is what she just did.
Yep.
And so she stands to collect a decent-sized side pot even before we sort out what happens with Coach. Coach can
Certainly.
win the big blind Danny and 1K from each of the players that puts money in. The rest of that's going to be a side pot, which will presumably go Ebony's way once we get these ace-5s out of the way. As we do.
Yeah, so Ebony picking up a free, 1938K there. Bigger than what the main is going to be.
Absolutely, the power of aggression at work.
Yes, no doubt.
We hungry.
Coach gonna need a king or 5 to stay alive. We do know at least 2 of them are burned.
Yeah. Backdoor spades also a possibility here.
Good call out. Queen is of no
Backdoors
help.
have closed. And actually, a king would be unfortunate now because that would make a straight.
Good call. She
And
needed the 5.
Ace Jack going to do the job. And we're going to see Coach getting eliminated here, unfortunately.
Our first
No,
casualty of the
I will-
final table. Congrats for making it, though, Coach. And well played, Ebony. Nice hand.
Yeah, absolutely. That re-raise, a solid decision there. What's maximum pressure on that raiser, who's probably raising over any 1K all in. Like the whole range is still getting played as usual.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
And then there were 8 players.
One step closer to that beautiful 3,800 first place prize. It is on all of their minds, I'm sure. And Brandy, seeing a better portion of the deck now, is choosing to limp the 7s. Interesting. Does have a very playable stack with over 23 big blinds. Now SS Train, King Queen off. On the
I wonder if
button.
she has some devious plans if there's a raise from, say, a King Queen type holding.
I did mine last night.
You may get to find out.
Because I wanted that.
Yeah.
SS
We're
Train
going to put that
does
theory to the test.
make the raise.
I like the farm. Let's just be a friend.
Like what else too?
Yes. Ours look the best.
Like call chicken.
Looks like she's going to go the limp call route, and she's going to hope for what would be the case 7 to appear. We saw one of them hit the muck already. As we go heads up to the flop,
Not natural. Natural.
ace high flop.
Difficult spot playing out of position there.
Natural. This is definitely
Yeah.
SS Train, I would think, is probably going to be continuing here. I would
Yeah, this-
probably like, I don't know, a $16,000 bet.
Yeah, you don't have to go that big at all. An ace high board is going to be better for the pre-flop raiser. And now the 7s have to check fold what was the best hand. A raise pre tends to work better just because you can win the pot right then and there because if everybody folds, you win the pot. Big blind doesn't get a cheap look at whatever regs they have. The other thing is you have the betting lead. Imagine you're the raiser with the 7s and you get that ace high flop. You can bet that credibly with what's actually second pair and a decent hand. But hey, you're the raiser now and you can have an ace. So aggression, like once again, we see the power of aggression. King Queen taking a pot that didn't belong to it. Carlo, the chat pro, good to see you.
Can you move that chair back to 5?
J Carby 86, thinking it's going to be a good evening for Ebony. It's been a good one so far. She's got the chips.
Might see
Anyone
a
else?
movement dig here from Brando.
Ace Queen for Brando, and
8 raises to 16.
it's going to be a min raise. Put out 15, so that goes up to 16, which is the minimum.
Ma'am? It's 16.
If anyone else has predictions, feel free to let us know in the chat.
2 fold. 3 fold. 4 fold.
My turn. Shift the sugar.
6 fold.
Ice Queen moving all in, 42K. King Jack, perfectly good shove, 5 big blinds and change, and this should be a snap call for Ace Queen.
Especially only 3 big blinds, yeah.
Anything she's raising, she should be calling off for 3 more bigs per the odds, and that's what she's going to do. 2 live ones for Ice Queen, though. means a king or a jack, or she'll be out in 8th place.
Does have hearts working, but clubs covered here, in case that matters.
Okay, you can't do anything on that.
We got a 12 big blind pot here.
Ready?
Pretty good size.
All
Rick.
small cards. Ace queen, so far so good.
I'll get it later.
To the turn we go. 7 of clubs, so down to just a king or a jack for Ice Queen.
Jack
There's the
comes
jack
in.
on the river. Ice
my
Queen
gosh.
stays alive.
One time, oh, she had done it. She did it.
Yeah,
She
the,
got
the
the
get up equity.
Yep.
That
Put
worked for
your
me a
back
little
on.
early today. I mean, don't count out that get up equity. I was all set to get out, and I spiked it straight on the river, and I stayed alive in the ETH White for our 150K guarantee going on this weekend as part of this Moneymaker tour.
Is that what
I bagged up like half an hour before I came in here to do the show. I bagged up, so I'll be back there on Monday.
Congratulations.
And,
Very exciting.
It's a fun time. Really fun tournament. Hope you come out and take part in that or some other tournament in this next coming week or so. 2 more starting flights tomorrow, and I believe there's one Monday morning as well.
I mean, I've seen it. I didn't know.
that used to build?
Yeah, great set of tournaments that they're running here at the Westheimer location. Definitely check it out on the website or on Poker Atlas. Download the app if you haven't had a chance to already. Great structures, great opportunities for Hold'em, for PLO. Got that fantastic main event as well that everyone's very excited about. Should be some great action. And this is, again, a great way to get the weekend started right here with this women's event. After a big Texans win today, people getting very excited. Got a fun action lined up for tonight. An Ice Queen, the dominated king here. Looks like she does have a tough decision to make. Does decide to just go ahead and flat. Allows Brandy to get in there with, again, suited cards. Seen her with a lot of suited cards.
And
The
we
king
got a
comes.
couple of players with a pair. We got everybody with a pair here. King 8-5, so top pair for Patty and Ice Queen, and Brandy with a pair. So
Could get
Brandy,
Ice Queen into a
though,
lot of trouble.
Brandy not going to put any money in with that bottom pair. Patty Cat going to put the rest of her money in with what is the superior king. Ice Queen can't fold top pair. She's going to call.
Especially
And
after the
she's
pre-flop
gonna-
action, yeah.
She's going to need some help here.
Yeah. A 10 or running diamonds. Or some other exotic chop out. There's
There's the
one.
diamonds. There's some hope.
Gotta make him sweat. Woo! Does
And
not
the
find it.
brickiest of bricks. King, queen, gonna hold. Kings and eights with the queen. Patty Cat gotta get the full double at Ice Queen's expense.
Well played, Patty Cat. Nice big double up there. Going to be very interested to see how the players play. As you mentioned, the bubble has not burst yet. It is going to be 5 players that are getting paid here, so still a lot of posturing that can happen, especially right about now in the tournament.
Making eye contact. Why did
Very
you
interested to see how ICM comes into play for these players.
The other thing worth noting with this overlay we had today, 5th place is $950. 5th place is like 3.5 buy-ins, which is actually a pretty big bubble compared to what you usually get in an MTT. So that's going to be a steep bubble. So I think when we get to about 6 players, maybe 7 players, this thing could really slow down as much as you can with half-hour blinds.
Yeah, very true.
July with a king and a jack and going to call.
Nah, that's not my
Which song?
Anticipation.
I think that's a hand I would rather shove. You'd love it if an ace would fold.
Fold, get me out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would love it if a small pair folds, ever.
Especially with 9 big blinds.
You're supposed to turn
It'd be
There's
heads up, and July does have Brandy dominated here.
If she folds her cards, I have to muffle.
the one way that this.
Don't we do big blind protection here when there's no action?
Yeah, yeah.
They fold their blind, they look at
Both players whiff here.
I'm pretty
Brandy gonna lead.
when there's no raising action. It's TDA rules.
No, if she folds,
Gonna go
Brand even
12K.
showing a lot of aggression.
Gets Joy out of there. Well done,
Well
Brandy.
done. Brandy with a very strong start to the final table for sure.
Hannah.
Picking up some hands, but also winning pots that she is not entitled to.
Yeah.
Service.
James, I don't think we're on Twitch tonight. I think the Dallas final table has the Twitch channel right now.
You guys are supposed to.
So many tournaments going on across the 6 Texas Card House locations. We have to pick and choose what goes where. And yeah, I think Dallas has Twitch, and they also have this YouTube channel, TCH Live Poker.
Drinking with her 'cause you're gonna move.
oh yeah.
I'm
100%.
really glad that I'm on 13 months no alcohol right now. I decided randomly to do no alcohol last year for the whole year, and I still just kept it. But, yeah. But when I
Good
go to
for Ebony.
Europe,
Alcohol's
I went to
overrated
have
anyway.
wine at a restaurant that I ate there a couple years ago, so I'm really
Very good for her.
Just trying to.
SS Train, about 20 big blinds in stack. Let's see what she chooses to do with ace-10 suited.
Yeah, when I first decided to not drink for the whole year last year, I was certain, I was like, January 2nd, I'm gonna have a sip of wine, probably be wasted. And then it just came, and then I was like, well, I'm not gonna drink for January. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to Uruguay, and like,
Ms. Brando thinking about it,
so that's the perfect time to like.
thinking the better of it.
Exactly.
SS
folder.
Train. Her train's going to be rolling here. Raise and take it.
Nice hand, nice hand.
I knew it was. Let me see. I think when I was once to watch for WPP, every interview I had a glass of wine in my hand. And some lady walked up. I remember some lady came up to me during a livestock at like 2 p.m. And she's like, "Oh, Ebony, so nice to meet you. Where's your wine?" And I was like, "What?"
You're known as the one.
I was like, "Oh no."
That's bad.
Is it red or what?
Red wine. Yeah, but now, ironically enough, the only good non-alcoholic wines are the white ones. The red are terrible.
Pro tips from Ebony in seat 1 there. If you're going dry January, go for the white non-alcoholic wines. Have to keep that in mind.
Patty Cat choosing to limp the suited Broadway cards.
Does have her
Brandy.
diamonds dominated by Brandy.
And Brandy deciding to splash in there, and I think Ebony's about to punish them both. And Ace and the King, she's going to go for all the marbles. But if we're going to be results-oriented, Patty Cat's going to save whatever she would have raised.
Very true.
And there's no way Queen 10's going to call off, but
Would typically prefer to see a sizing 2 to 2.5x, but
yeah.
we have seen a good amount of limping.
Yeah.
Ebony does choose to go ahead and fire it all. I could have seen simply raising there, but being out of position,
Yeah, I'm
taking all,
okay with
all
the
that dead
shove.
money.
For 20 bigs effective, I'm okay with the shove.
Yeah,
Especially if she thinks her opponents are going to be under defending.
yeah.
And like, if you look at the hands that we've seen limped, those Rangers are pretty capped at stuff that's like not the nuts at all.
Actually.
And certainly can't call off 20 bigs, so just take the free money. Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah, yeah, definitely true. especially out of position. I think maybe in position I would be more entertaining of possibly just a raise and trying to induce players with worse hands to continue, but out of
Imp
position.
Daddy 2 with Ace King and limping,
Oh, boy.
so forget what I said about Cap's ranges.
Anybody else want some water? I'll take one.
Perhaps she's trying to spring the trap here. SS Train potentially going to get a free look. Her king dominated.
Thank you, thank you.
Very interesting.
Heads up we go. Two overs for the Ace King. Jack
SS
A2
Train with
barely
some devious
disconnected.
intentions.
SS Train gonna lead because, hey, the checking range could have a piece of this. Pimp Daddy undeterred. Little under pot behind.
It's a very
That
good
turn's
card
gonna
for SS
straighten
Train to
things out.
continue.
Picks up the gut shot. The bottom end of it.
Interacts with her range a lot more than Pimp Daddy's, although as you'd mentioned, we have seen some wide ranges for these pre-flop limps. I do love the continue though, especially when you pick up some equity.
Goes 25K and gets the job done.
Very good job, SS Train. Been very impressed with her play so far.
5,000, 10,000.
As we see, she's moved her way into second in the chip counts. Several players on the shorter ends here. In fact, half our players are below 10 big blinds.
Yeah. And with that ICM pressure, as you mentioned in particular, fifth place, getting over 3.5x the buy-in. This could get very interesting very quickly. Great spot for the big stacks and seats 1 and 2 to really start putting some pressure on too.
Ebony's going to do just that. And it stinks for SS Train to have the chip leader in a position where she can be applying pressure a lot, and she's the one person who can make your day miserable at this point.
We do see a ship. Oh, Pimp Daddy 2, unfortunately, absolutely dominated.
Thank you.
All in for crumbs, and yeah, very unfortunate spot. You'll often have 2 live cards. Unfortunately, not this time. But there's the queen right in the window.
There it is.
And now it's Ebony needing a king to score the knockout.
Jack, no help.
And the queen holds. So,
Pimp Daddy on Pimp Daddy
2.
crime
My
there.
fellow Pimp Daddy, you know?
I was like, I thought that was my card.
Scoring the full double here.
I had a queen.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Like we were talking about a little while ago, you know, results oriented. Obviously, Ebony wishes that didn't happen, but like we had said, there's just going to be a lot of benefits to placing pretty max pressure with a hand, especially as strong as King High in that spot from the button. Another big stack behind you, very disincentivized, playing out of position against you in SS Train, and then a small stack in the big blind. Got it in a really great spot, but just was not able to hold, unfortunately.
Looks like blinds are up 5, 10, and 10.
Okay.
Those short stacks just got a lot shorter.
Yeah.
Pocket threes for Ms. Brando on the low jack. This is a shovelable hand.
6 bigs.
And
You
you'd
do
really,
unfortunately have
really,
both the big stacks behind you, but yeah,
you'd really prefer the fold if that's what it comes to.
totally agree.
Gonna go for the min raise off the 7 big blind stack.
Savage.
July with an ace and a queen, and it's gonna put the rest of her chips in. 4.5 bigs. Pimp Daddy 2 with ace king!
Oh, wow.
And this is probably gonna be an all-in. And then Ms. Brando has the one spot where she can fold because all hell is broken loose behind her. These threes are going to be toast.
It's got to be hard, though. 40? She has 47K behind. Okay, so she's got 4 bigs, 5 bigs almost. You started this.
If one of them has a pair, you're crushed.
Yes.
Yeah, so like, you've got to ditch the threes at this point.
It's the one benefit of just simply raising there was you do give yourself the opportunity to get out of the way.
So July needs a queen to stay alive here.
Be good to me.
Pimp Daddy 2 covering her.
I did. I know. Come on.
Wow, you're rooting for this.
King right in the window and an ace. Ace is up.
That's me, it's fine.
So now
Back
runner,
doors
runner.
only now.
No, I'm just
July.
laughing at you, like,
And
That's
that's
gonna be
it.
I would never
July now
put
drawing dead. July
my opponent.
going to be eliminated in 8th place.
8th place for
8th
July.
place. Thanks for playing.
Okay, Pimp Daddy.
Very well done. Just nothing you can do about that hand. That is going to play
You run
itself.
into it. Yeah, it plays itself,
The
and
thingy before the jam, we get dinner and a show.
that's tournaments.
I'm not folding
Yeah.
that. Should be so close to not folding it.
These players have been at it for about 7 hours at this point,
Unless you put them on kings or aces. But
and you can almost see it. You can almost see the money.
Getting closer and closer.
Only get serenaded at the ladies' fight.
Pimp Daddy 2. Pimp Daddy number 2. Somebody should have been Pimp Mommy. You should have been Pimp
I should
Mommy.
have
100%. Can we change her?
Be interested to see what Miss Brando does here with the ace offsuit.
Mama.
Yeah, Pimp Mama.
She does
All
show.
in, I think, and you've got an ace and you've got 5 bigs. All in. Those are the magic words. We just hope that we somehow get it through, or maybe we get called by 2 broadways. Ice Queen with the King Jack, and this would be for her tournament life. And King Jack's a
Worked out
good
well
hand
for
to
her
call up
before.
with.
Yeah.
Slightly behind here, but this is a perfectly good hand. But she doesn't. She makes the fold.
Wow. With less than 3 bigs, she does fold. I don't know if I can do that there. But she got out of the way of a situation where she would have been behind.
Yeah.
Maybe some ICM pressure really coming out there in that particular hand. Just
The
trying
problem-
to do anything
yeah.
you can. Hang on for dear life for another 2
thing
more
is-
spots.
You are the short stack, and people are going to be waiting you out. Is
True.
the problem there. And not everybody's going to see it that way, though. Like, I don't know if this was, well, if I can outlast 2 players somehow. Like, this doesn't seem like a crowd that's going particularly insane. I have been at tables where, you know, maybe I'm the short stack, but these players are trying to punt their chips to each other. Ms. Brando going to move all in again with a slightly better race, but she's not going to get it through this time.
Oh boy.
The Kings
SS
have pulled
train.
into the SS train station.
Amount did you say that was?
72,000.
And what are you doing here? Are you simply calling or are you
I'm
re-raising?
just sticking it in. A call for this size for over a third of your stack is just going to telegraph that the rest of it's going in. And she does move all in. Patty Cat, disgusted to be folding ace jack. Going to be thrilled when she sees these hands turned over.
Most definitely. Brando is going to find herself a 70-30 dog here to stay alive. Looking for an ace.
There's a
Four.
7, couple more
Yeah.
outs.
Does add 2 outs, assuming neither are burned. 3 no help.
Ace or a 7 to stay alive. Here we go. That won't do it. Kings are
Another
gonna
one
hold.
gone.
Miss Brando made a good run. Gonna fall just a bit short here. 7th place. SS Train gonna stack herself some more chips. And we're gonna be on the money bubble here. Next player out gets nothing. Everyone else will secure themselves $950, I believe is the number.
$1,000 goes to the bubble. An extra 1,000 goes to the bubble. No, not from the flagpole. The house is gonna fill in another 1,000.
You guys want to do something right
The
now?
house
Okay,
said
I don't.
So don't forget about the $1,000.
No.
Come on, just checking with them.
Justin, we'll see if we get these chip counts in a moment. It may be seat 1. It's either seat 1 or seat 2.
It was a big pot that SS Train just pulled in. That
Yeah,
might
SS
have.
She might have
Bumped her up.
sniped it there.
She's looking at me like, what the
I was
fuck?
like, what in the world? No, I object.
It doesn't sound like they're interested in any kind of pay the bubble deal.
See that poker face I had?
They don't even have $50.
We're going back to Ice Queen. You're right.
Jeez, that's so good. Right? Over here taking pictures.
Players can unanimously agree to change the payouts, and that's not what's going to happen here.
You don't need to look.
Ice Queen shoving her 5-4 suited.
You're way ahead.
Ebony calling off for 1 additional big blinds.
$1,000.
Kind of hand that Ice
King
Queen
9.
wants to see here,
If
obviously.
she can hold,
I'm up first.
Ebony can hold here. We're going to be in the money. Pair of
9.
9s. Down to
Runner,
back
runner.
doors for the 5-4.
That's one of
There's a
them. Now she
gutter.
needs a
There's
3.
a gutter. We need a 3.
A
Ice Queen
3,
needs a
or we're in the
3.
money.
That's not a 3.
That's not a 3.
Perceptive.
Ice Queen. First stack going to be melted here. Ice Queen going to be our bubble. Congratulations to our 5 players making the money here.
Congratulations, everyone.
Great to see the camaraderie that they're showing here. I did hear it might have been Pimp Daddy 2 saying this was her first final table. Really fun to have made the money at it. Congratulations.
She don't even want to sit close to us. She's like, no.
Congratulations to all of these players making the money, making the final table.
Short stack to me is lions are gonna roll around.
Glad we could be a part of some of these first final table run.
Yeah, most definitely. Be interested to see if things start to loosen up a little bit here.
Yeah, so that was actually our biggest pay jump until the jump from 3rd to 2nd, believe it or not. So 5th gets 950, 4th will get 1140. Patty Cat gonna raise and take it.
Yeah, a lot of
Wonderful
incentive
result.
now here to loosen up a little bit. Really try and play for stacks. Build something up so that you can try and challenge Ebony and SS Train.
Since you're giving me
As we can see right now,
and then we'll
Ebony with a pretty commanding chip lead. Almost 40 bigs still. SS Train with about 27 bigs.
And nobody below 10 right now.
You know, the first time that I went to Kings and Card, there was
Brandy been doing a good amount of limping. It does look like Ebony wants to punish her for that.
and I won that tournament.
Excuse me. You knew Kings and Cards? How do you know?
I met you at Kings and Card.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. What's wrong with you?
I wouldn't be surprised if Ebony would have 3-bet that anyway.
I just knew you this year.
No.
Yeah, I promise. I just
Pimp Daddy 2, King 10. Going to go for the folds here.
I met you at Kings and Card.
you knew me at Kings.
Randy gonna call. We're gonna go heads up. Club draw for the Jack 9.
Very interesting. And she Doesn't
She's
take
gonna
much time
lead.
before leading
She's
out.
gonna lead.
Yeah. One time we're sitting, we're paying cash.
Really hard for Ebony to continue here. She does have the ace blocker, but she does let it
Does
go.
make the folds.
I just knew you going to Ricardo's.
Just a really strong play from Brandy there with that quick lead out. She has shown an incredible amount of aggression. She's mixing it up pre-flop.
Yeah, that alcohol's getting to your hand.
Is doing a good amount of limping. Ebony tried to punish her for it, but she has shown that she's going to defend if you try to attack her limps.
10-10.
Oh, I thought you were asking for like another way to say.
We
that the
can
alcohol
see
brings down
posted in the chat now payouts if anybody is curious.
So is somebody asking? So get that up there for you. And
Okay, it is posted right now.
yeah, I just put that up. And
Thank you. Thank you.
suited ace for Brandy, gonna go for the min raise. SS train with the eights. Could call here. Probably should call here against an early position open.
Yeah. In position, I like a call.
Makes
Go ahead
that
and
call.
evaluate. Especially an aggressive player like Brandy. Last thing you want to do is have to fold if you 3-bet.
Heads up,
Oh,
set of
boy.
eights. How about that?
Oh man,
Please c-bet, Brandy. Please c-bet.
Brandy
She doesn't.
does choose to slow down a little bit. Do love the check back. It's a good
Queen
card
of
in
spades.
general for SS Train to see, but unfortunately Brandy doesn't have it. She's undeterred. The check back from SS Train.
It's a card she can wrap.
Yep.
Bigger
Might have been
cards are
perfectly
gonna be better for
deceptive
her.
here. I really hope she just finds the call here. Doesn't get too greedy.
I can understand if she decides she wants protection from a jack or a 10.
28.
I just think that Brandy's so heavily weighted towards Queen X here. I mean, maybe backdoor flush draw.
There's no planet where we're ever folding this river, I don't think.
No.
Makes the call. King on the end, she fills up.
That's actually a perfect card for her. Brandy did quickly check the flop, though, so I think she realizes that she can't really represent kings.
Yeah.
SS Train. Gonna
So
go
what do you
ahead
do?
and probably shove.
I
I mean,
was just gonna
you're
say
targeting a
shove.
queen.
I was going
Right.
to say shove to try and say I missed my straight draw.
Yeah.
And
75 and 7 cards.
it's not quite going to be a shove. I think it's going to be almost pot and
Oh, that's
gets the quick fold.
yeah, well, my pleasure. Thank you. Good luck, guys. Girls, I'm sorry.
They go wondering what TCH points get you. Every now and then we do raffles with the points, but they mostly just get you more points. You gamble them again and you get more points. It's just a fun thing that we have in the chat.
Right in between those stickers.
As we have a dealer change happening here. I unfortunately don't know any of the Houston dealers, so I couldn't tell you who they are. In Austin, I try to shout them out.
Hello. I'm great, thank you for asking.
You all can normally hear me on our Austin shows, or see me on the Austin shows if I'm playing, most Mondays. On this
Great
channel.
shows that you guys have up there for sure.
If you haven't done so already, take this moment during this dealer change to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, get those notifications on, find out every time we are on the air. TCH Live on the air just about every day of the week now across the Austin, Dallas, and Houston locations. We got some tournament action tonight. We got cash game action during the week, and it's always a fun time.
That's what.
Hope you will join us for
I know,
those
I
games
think
as
I
well.
I know, I told her.
Yeah,
She loves PLO too.
I love PLO. So
I
this
know
is
you
like,
guys
this
don't
is a change of
We are seeing the pre-flop raise statistics here. No surprise to see the two big stacks at the top of that. Applying some very controlled aggression. Really been so fun to watch so far.
Sorry.
Live to fight another day.
Yeah. You guys believe it.
SS Train with the beautiful ace-4 suited.
Let's raise it up.
Bit more of a cash game hand, I would say. Just given the fun things you could do with bluff 3 or 4 or 5 bets, but there's 5 ways. There's no way you're not raising here, especially as SS Train.
2 raises. 22.
She does love that 2.2x sizing.
7 folds.
Good sizing with these stack depths.
Yeah, definitely. Probably going to 470 to call here. She's got to defend 10-8, I would think.
She's got the pot odds. You do have to hesitate a little bit against the other big stack. If something goes sideways here, she's the one who can hurt you.
No doubt. This is probably a hand that we're going to see played more conservatively.
Spade draw and an open enter. So much for
Oh my
conservative. This
gosh.
feels like chaos in the making.
Oh, wow.
1 checks.
And what do you do when SS Train bets here when it comes back to you as Ebony? Probably going to go something like 22,000 if I had to guess.
2 checks.
She's going
Does
to check it back. This flop is better for a big blind defender.
Oh my gosh.
Chaos
Oh my
card,
gosh.
6 of spades.
Oh,
The flush and the
wow.
straight both get there.
And Pimp Daddy also with the flush draw. So she is blocking a spade.
It's 25.
And she's going to fire out the 25K with her turn straight. She thinks she has it.
Oh, wow.
She thinks she has it.
SS Train going to smooth call here.
Makes the call.
Oh,
Gonna pop
man.
it on the river probably. Let's get a brick river for chaos. As much as I hate pain.
Oh, that's
I have
actually
signed-
not a brick river.
and-
Pimp Daddy's loving that river. Now she
she's
beats
thinking,
8x.
I can get paid by an 8.
Yeah. Oh,
if
no.
SS Train somehow has an 8. And it's going to be 40. The question is, what does SS Train do? Do we go 150, 160?
This is fascinating with these sizes, too, for stacks.
All-in might be a little too big.
We've got, yeah, effectively 30 big blinds. Ebony just bet 4 into what was a 10 big blind pot. What size would you go with your bluffs? And that's what you got to figure out with just absolute nuts here.
Do you even
Just a
have
snap
bluffs?
call.
Look at the size. She went small. She just went to 100 and it got snapped by Ebony. Could have been worse for her.
Yeah.
She actually still has plenty of maneuvering room with those 19 bigs. But SS Train, now with piles of chips here.
Wow.
I think a flush might, I think a shove might be a little bit big of a sizing. I think she could have gotten more than 100K. I think 150 probably gets called.
Yeah.
But all the marbles, I'm less sure. I think Ben Ebony can
I just think
contemplate
with the check
getting-
back on flop, you're probably not going to be weighted towards spades there. Obviously, SS Train was. I think that the ace high check back on flop, if you do have a spade draw that you're going to check back, that's probably the one you want to do it with. But
yeah.
man, that's pretty deceptive. I think that you can go for all of it right there, just given that flop check back. But
Yeah.
as we can see, she still made out with a very nice pot, thanks to
I
an
think the-
absolutely brutal turn.
I think the check back on flop might have been somewhat ICM driven, just not wanting to get check jammed by that open ender or whatever she has that connects with that board, because that was an awesome flop for big blinds. So
Certainly agree
I
with that.
think that's where the hesitation came from. They are playing some poker this evening.
2 checks.
3 ways we go in a limp pot. Ten three three, gonna be good for the big blinds. SS Train.
Probably does need to bet here. Needs a little bit of protection.
2 bets. 35.
does quickly take it down.
Do you know everybody's names, their nicknames?
SS Train,
Here?
522,000 in stack
I have
now.
to say no, I don't.
Starting to develop somewhat of a commanding chip lead
I know, I really should.
after an absolutely wild
Yeah, we should announce this by your
nut flush over nut straight hand against the other
I
big
will
stack.
try my best.
But you gotta get clarification on what everybody's names are on the stream.
Like that's the nightmare.
I used to
That's
say
the nightmare scenario.
and I
That's the nightmare when you defend the 10-8 offsuit. That something silly happens like that
Yeah, it's
against
really
the
bad
other
what
big
names
stack.
are. It's not
I see
Incredibly
Arlene in the
brutal.
chat came up just a bit short of the final table tonight.
didn't think of that.
Sorry you
They
didn't
should
quite
call
get
and
there.
ask what C3 is.
Good run though to get as far as you did. And hope we see you around here again real soon at TCH.
Okay. Hey, are you there, Alan? Do you know? Okay, everyone's good.
The ace-4 of spades, it makes another appearance. It makes an appearance in Patty Cat's hands. And she's gonna limp.
Okay.
All in is also a consideration there. Does choose the limp.
What about C1? Oh,
So many better aces could consider folding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with seat numbers.
That's Train. I think these chips might be getting to her a little bit. She's gonna quote the 8-2 and she's gonna get smacked by Pimp Daddy 2. Moves all in for 140 with the ace king and gets it through.
Is the third time, I believe, that Pimp Daddy 2 has had ace king at this final table already.
And how many
Magnets.
times now? How many times now if I suggested somebody shove and they would have run into it?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't listen to me.
The train is for sure on track right now. Things absolutely going to plan for C2.
We're punishing, right? I'm Pimp Daddy for a reason. We're punishing the lifters for sure.
Punish the limpers.
Running hot at a final table is always wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Like my best results, I got to final table and I just ran pure and you know, that's just how it is. Like there is definitely variance. And sometimes variance blesses you. Suited ace for SS Train.
Yeah, SS Train's surely on the right end of variance so far, but also been playing incredibly well. Let's see how she chooses to navigate here.
2 raises. 22. 3 folds.
Pimp Daddy gonna stay out of trouble. Patty Cat gonna defend.
Heads up.
Very reasonable hand to defend, even.
Yeah,
Stack so
C3.
small.
And with the stack so small, C3 should be folding a lot, waiting out C4 to see if it's a double or if it's a bust out. And both players missed here.
4 checks.
Ace high still good.
Definitely a board that SS Train should go ahead. Yep, apply pressure on. She does and gets it done.
Maximum pressure.
And wow, as you can see, SS Train about 3 times the biggest stack, or the stack size of the next biggest Pimp Daddy. Just a fantastic run that she's had so far. Patty Cat with only 5 bigs, kind of moving time for her. As was noted, there's not a big difference between 5th and 4th place.
I gave it to him. Patty Cat.
Oh yeah, Patty. Okay. All right, Laura, it's on you.
Oh, I'm SS Train.
SS Train.
Okay, so if I would have picked one, it would have been Queen. Or I either
SS Train with another suited ace.
I think Killer B would have been
Would
awesome.
nice.
That would be good. That's my bowling nickname, but I
Loving those
just wanted to go
clubs.
Seat 7 to Killer B, please.
K-I-L-L-A. B.
Killer B.
Yes.
K-I-L-L-A.
Killa.
K-I-L-L-A.
Uh-huh.
Ah, Killa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Killa B.
We're at number 2 raises.
Can you ask? Is it okay?
22.
Randy?
Yeah, let's rock it.
Yeah.
22. 3 calls. I will request that. As soon as
22 the size there.
I gotta join the fun, why
7
not?
requests.
And we got a bunch of calls here.
Wow.
Seat 1, Ebony just going to be spectating the other 4 players.
Almost a family pot.
Three of the
Tournament
eights
final
are
table.
spoken for.
4 players.
Imagine we get some middle cards on this flop.
That'll be the action.
We get the small ones instead. 7s and 4s ahead for Brandy.
Patty Cat.
Patty Cat going to lead all in with the 10 high, hoping that nobody has anything.
Only way this could work is exactly like this.
I think Brandy's got a call, though.
I don't think she's folding, but this is the only way that Patty Cat's play works.
No way, she
Brandy
folds.
folds.
She folds the overpair. She folds the overpair. Wow.
SS Train, I'd be really surprised, actually, if she makes this call. Patty Cat is kind of representing that she has something.
2 calls.
Interesting. She does go ahead and
SS
make the
Train
call.
making the call, and she's getting pot odds. And she probably feels like she's got the chips to spare.
Not sure
9
that
high
Big
has to
Daddy has a
fold now.
decision here. Yeah. She has been playing pretty close to the chest, too, so a little surprised that she's even deciding. Oh, my God.
I think we probably have a scanner error of some kind.
Yes,
That's
it
the
has
only
to be.
explanation. I can't wait to see these actually turned over. There's no way she calls off with 9 high. No way.
2 folds.
We will know in a moment. And SS Train's going to fold. And we're going to
No
see these
shot.
hands turned over.
Unless it's a diamond draw.
When you jam, that I had to get up.
Man, I was like, if you're trapping me with jacks or queens,
I have pocket seven.
Alan on the other
Eights,
side
okay,
confirming
okay.
to me that
Eights
there was
makes a lot more
mistake.
sense.
8s and then a
Versus-
diamond draw. 10-9
okay.
of diamonds versus the pocket 8s.
Makes a
8 of
lot
spades,
more
8 of
sense.
hearts.
I'm wrong. What do you mean? You're limping in
because I
to
knew
try
one
to
of them
entice-
things.
And now Brandy feeling really good about herself, actually, the fold.
There's the 10.
Oh my gosh,
There's
the
the
10.
10. Live and die by the flips. And now
You don't do
an
that
8 and an 8 alone.
I was looking at her.
No 8. No 8. The diamond drawer is going to end up spiking the pair of 10s. Patty Cat going to get the full double up.
28.
Apologies for that issue there. I'll tell you what happens sometimes, like especially seats that are close to each other, cards will get crossed up over the scanners, and the first 2 cards the scanner sees, that's what the scanner is going to believe, and that's probably what happened there. And sometimes you get confusing and hilarious results when that happens.
I was talking to her and I was like, are you kidding me? Can't eliminate anybody, right? I'll make it.
So apologies for that. You know, the technology is not perfect. It's pretty darn good, but it's not perfect.
12,000 favor.
Chopped off Big Daddy's head. One of them.
Creates for some interesting situations, though, that being one of them. And we do see Patty Cat pulling one of her 9 lives there. She is surviving in the tournament.
I was thinking, man, if you like just call for me to raise, and that would be such a good, because you raise people.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really good.
I announced it. Maybe you guys are switching.
SS Train cutting out some more chips to raise with.
2 bets, 25.
Goes 2.5.
I mean, it would have been either 24 or 25.
And I do think that's because the blinds did go up. We haven't seen it yet on the tracker, but I am
Yeah,
seeing
yeah, we are at
6,012, so I'm
Yeah.
sure that's why that happened.
Yeah, we see 6 and 12 posted there. So blinds are 6 and 12, 6, 12, and 12, and it looks like it's folded over to the big blind, who is going to defend. Graphics are just getting caught up here. I think they're increasing the blinds, and now they're gonna get us the hands.
Because we did have
Killa
also,
B,
yeah.
Killa B in seat 7 did make the call, as does Ebony. So 3 ways we're gonna go.
Oh,
3
my
players.
goodness.
Jack in the window. That's good news for Killa B. Jack 8 deuce. Better news is that SS Train has an inferior jack.
She's got a call here too.
You can't fold top pair. You can't.
12 bigs, or
She's
sorry,
gonna call.
7 bigs, yeah.
And gonna see that Killer B is ahead here.
Killer B looking a really good spot to double up and take down a big pot.
SS Train gets her queen though.
Whoa. Wow.
I was just gonna say she needs a queen to score the knockout of Killer B, and that is exactly what's gonna happen here.
Going to get eliminated in the toughest of ways.
Out in 5th place, that's going to be $950. Congrats on the cash.
Good job, Killer B. Very fun to watch. Very exciting action player. Unfortunate spot to find yourself in, losing the hand
Got the
that
best
way.
spot she could there. She got the best spot she could, and when it's your time, it's your time. And that's just how it is.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Killer B, have a good night.
And then there were 4.
There were 4. And these 4 players will all take home at least $1,140. Next page up will be $1,580 as we work towards the $3,800 first place prize.
Yeah, they just like they high five.
Just put that up real quick.
As we can see, pay jump's going to start to get significant again when you get from 3 to 2.
That they are. The stakes go up as we go on.
Runaway SS Train, just a massive chip advantage now. Has shown she is very willing to get into hands, play aggressively. I'm sure that is only going to continue as her stack grows. And Ebony now finding herself in a really tough spot, out of position against SS Train. Does go ahead and shove the ace
Ebony
offsuit.
All in, 10 bigs, an ace. Let's go.
Pretty good.
And gets it through. Ebony did good just to survive to this point, suffering a massive cooler, turning a straight versus a flush. And not losing it all, where a lot of players might have.
No doubt. Really hard hand. If you haven't seen it yet, go back about 20 minutes and just absolute carnage. A spot at the final table where you're getting really excited until you see what your opponent has on the river. And
I know some
absolute
players who
painful.
I know some players who would have free bet that 10-8 straight, saying I can get paid by an 8.
No doubt, no doubt. A really tough river for her, one where she could have easily lost all of her money.
Yeah.
Very good job just playing somewhat conservatively and making that call and losing probably the minimum.
Absolutely lost the minimum. Patty Cat with the suited connector. Gonna make the call. And Daddy 2 in the big blinds with Jack 10. Not a lot of chips to spare. Gonna get a free look here. They both whiff. First one to bet this is gonna win. That's a third club.
On board now.
And Pimp Daddy 2 does have a club. Check, check. Jack high is actually best.
Playing friendly right now.
Check, check, Jack high.
Jack high will take it down.
Pimp Daddy buying herself another round there. Taking the blind to Nanny.
Ever so important too, with only 4 players left. Those rounds circulate quite quickly.
Oh my god, the needles. Love it. Drinks on me.
Good to see you in the chat, Ragnar. Hope you're doing well.
Is it Patty Cat? Why did I say Patty Kate? No, Patty.
Been a busy day for me here. I drove in from Austin this morning, and I hopped in the tournament, and I bagged, and I had just enough time to get some Taco Bell before it was time to hang out with all of you on this final table stream.
Yeah, I have 2 cats.
If you paid attention, you would have known
It's a nice full day right there.
Yeah. I guess I got to fight the cash game tomorrow.
Me too.
Thought I was going to have to fire another day one, but things went a bit better.
Well, I'm sure they'll fire up a couple tables at the Houston location.
Yeah.
I bet they'd have some in the spring as well. Just
Yeah, I could
depending
take
on
it
where
right
you're
up to
staying.
spring. And Patty Cat gonna win it the easiest way possible.
Do love
Everyone
that when you
folds,
got a
you get a
hand like
walk.
Queen 2 offsuit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And when
Table
you're in
is
that 10 big
lopsided,
blinds,
Michael.
The tournaments are
Totally right. The chips have all
But they don't have
flown to one side. There's some magnet over there, I guess.
This tournament that was only for women, how often do they have it? Do they host it?
The only one that they've ever had. Moneymaker hasn't had a women's tournament.
Yeah, so it's the money make.
Oh, so it was by chance that you came and,
Yeah,
oh.
yeah, I saw it on Facebook.
thank you all for joining us here as we
You didn't even
stream
invite me. I
event
texted
4 of the
her.
Moneymaker Tour here at TCH
I was
Houston.
like, I'm going to get
Ladies
this
event
money.
final table.
She didn't invite me.
I was working with Ricardo, and we were eating crawfish.
William Lottie and RJ with you this evening.
There's a tournament right now, girls tournament, and there's only 2 tables. I have outs. If there's only 2 tables, I get out. We can, and that's when you text me.
4 players left. They're in the money. Still thousands of dollars to play for.
On the way, she didn't text
No.
you when she heard.
I didn't think she was good at tournament anyway.
And then when she
You see on the left the
she wins a pot and slides the money back and was like, thanks for
you see on the left the schedule for the Moneymaker Tour going on another week or so here at TCH Houston.
Coming over here.
TexasCardHouse.com or Poker Atlas for all the details.
Well, then, well, the fact that you didn't think she likes him doesn't matter since you don't like him. And you're here.
$300 150K guarantee
Listen, Pimp Daddy.
still going on this weekend, then the 1500 May next week.
You know?
How many entries did this tournament get? This tournament got 36 entries, 240 buy-in. So we overweight a bit on this 10K guarantee, so some free money for the taking. Ebony is going to move all in. Pimp Daddy won with the ace-jack.
Does
Trying to get
show
it through.
she was not messing around there.
A3 is a really great hand at a different game. But it also loses to ace-jack in that other game, so there's that.
I'm sure that bars will last a long time.
Glad you're all enjoying the show. If you're enjoying it, tell YouTube you enjoy by pressing that like button if you don't mind. It's free for you to do. And lets the algorithm know that people enjoy this, and
Those are handles.
maybe other people find out about this, and then we get to make some more friends in the chat.
She like, no, let's get this little Asian girl here and she can drink after a while.
4 folds.
Look at this. It's like 3 shots.
Jacks for Pimp Daddy 1, also known as Twitch streamer Ebony Kenny.
25.
Lovely sight to see. And will anybody continue? This is train out of the way. Pimp
Pimp
Daddy
Daddy
2, ace
2.
5.
Has an ace, could defend for cheap,
3 folds.
could also just let it go, could also jam it and
Yeah.
hope that Ebony's just pushing her around, which Ebony is a good aggressive player and she can definitely be later than Jax.
I do think against an experienced player like Ebony, you probably are wanting to either jam or fold there. You do have a bit of a ICM consideration in that they were both about the same effective prior to that hand at about 10 bigs. And like you said, Ebony probably is going to be raising a little bit wider than some of the other players at the table. So ace 5, max pressure, don't have to play out of position. But very fortunately for her, like we were talking about, you know, theory aside, if you're looking at it from a pure results-oriented mindset, that worked out very well. Just go ahead and let it go.
2 raises, 25.
SS train raising. I don't know if she's messing around or if this is another misread. We're gonna find out real soon.
Yeah.
Pimp Daddy with Ace Queen gonna play for all the marbles,
Find out quickly.
and it's probably 6-3. It's a snap fold.
She was just kidding.
Yeah, I mean I don't blame her.
The slot machine.
Arlene speculating that maybe the turnout was light today because the Houston Texans were playing
But I don't know it
in
from
the
this much.
wild
I
card
know
round. In fact, they were playing at home. So people going to the game, people watching the game, and Houston crushed Cleveland today. Congrats to the Houston Texans. See if that other Texas-based team can put up a similar performance. Dallas playing Green Bay, I think tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right.
I need to do this more often. This tournament is.
You play poker or drink?
Both.
Boy, I do drinking.
Poker with friends, drinking,
This is fun.
playing poker with friends.
She does more of
Final
the drinking than
tabling.
poker.
Alright, Patty, no one asked you.
Patty, what does she do more of? Drinking or
Drinking.
Working. Working. I work every day. You better tell mom.
4 folds.
Walk for a hand that is probably going to put some more money in if given the chance.
This was a lot of fun.
James cheering for that other team. Snap ban.
It was.
That'll be nice because I'm actually from New York, so I'm not allowed to like the Cowboys.
That's fair. I'm pretty sure that's a rule.
Yeah. Also not allowed to like anything Philly or Boston.
Thank you.
Like those are the other rules.
I think that should just be a rule for everybody that's not from Philly or Boston.
So this tournament, it should have been more chips because there was a lot of shovels towards the end.
3 folds.
Yeah, actually.
And then we should have played out more hands. I like
Ebony, let's see what she chooses to do here. King Queen offsuit.
They don't want it to
Out
run
of position
into 12 hours
against the
at night.
big stack.
1 raises,
Just cutting out just a raise.
what that would have been.
36.
Because if they get more chips, it's gonna take longer.
It's a good sizing though, 3x.
2 folds.
Like the size. Gets
Yeah.
done what she wanted.
Gonna show it. And I think if given the chance, the rest of that money would have gone in.
Playing hands here and there, but earlier there was like shovels.
And she raises, and she gets rid of a hand that had 6 outs.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah.
And you can see quickly has almost doubled up her chip stack. Going from 10 bigs to almost 20.
Yeah, 1 raise at a time.
Now I got that song in my head. Did you say imagination
You had
something?
said earlier,
I love
death by a
it.
1,000
You
cuts.
should hear her sing Mexican songs.
I'm good. I'm good. Pimp Daddy's good.
Not Mexican, Spanish.
Mexicans. I know some Alvadora.
Yeah, you see?
4 folds. 1 fold.
There's a word or two in there, maybe.
A tapatilla. It's a restaurant. A Mexican restaurant.
Saw SS Train apply some pressure when she was in position against Pimp Daddy 2. Now out of position.
2 raises,
Oh, right here. It's taking forever to make money.
36.
Put the chips in and tell me how much more, please.
3x, and Pimp Daddy 2 dominates SS Train. And might not have enough chips to defend against the 3x. She may choose to do that. She will choose to do that, and we'll see what happens. It's a steep price at this point.
Yeah.
10-9 ahead of 9-8. But how often is she going to realize this equity?
Especially SS Train has shown she's willing to fire at least 1 bullet or just flop the best of it.
That works too. Pimp Daddy 2 does have the gut shot.
And I will
Ace
say,
high flop, that was going to be great for the Razor.
middle pair here though, if I'm SS Train, I probably am just checking this. I can understand a bet though. You do have hands you want to protect against.
You bet. 50 pounds.
Goes 50K, which is pretty much going to commit C3 to putting the rest of the chips in.
Yeah, actually thinking about it more, I think it's a pure bet. Might be my deep stakes cash that I've been playing a little bit too much of recently that's influenced the check comment.
Anything with diamonds or an open ender, you're going to hear from anyway.
Yep. That's a good, fair point.
You're certainly going to hear from an ace. And SS Train going to take it down.
I was trying to make you nervous too. I would never call that.
Well, then you should be sorry.
Did you feel me staring at you?
She said, I didn't care.
I wasn't looking over there. I wasn't even paying
I said
attention.
it in a nice way.
Laura was like, damn.
I was like,
SS Train still in a comfortable lead here. Over half the chips in play. But Ebony's starting to make a run at it.
Suited broadways.
We're certainly going to hear from those.
One raises, 25.
Here's the min raise.
yo girl, making it to final two.
2 folds.
What is this? Is this right?
No, you're only 6.
6, yep. Thank you.
I'd
Bit
like
of a
to
rebate there for Pimp Daddy 2.
3 folds.
Good news when you have 6 high.
Yeah,
You're not
can I
actually
take
in
any
for
of
as
these
much
back,
as you
please?
think. Yeah, if only.
We have no more breaks.
Whenever we want. If you guys want to take a 2-minute break right now and then use restrooms, that's optional for us. They told us that.
Oh, okay.
Whatever we want.
Can we please get like 1 minute?
Can we wait till after the level? Yeah. 8.
So normally with these live stream final tables, we don't have built-in tournament breaks.
We'll wait.
You know what? No, you know what? Go.
No. Can you pass the clock?
Yeah, sure.
Please.
Go.
Thank you.
Can we get a pause on the clock?
No. Go.
Yeah, go.
Sounds like it'll be a brief pause.
I didn't know that she needed it. So we got 8:35 on the clock.
Okay.
Perfectly good. Sometimes you need a break. So what do you think so far, RJ?
It's been a very interesting final table, very fast moving, which I think is a product and part of the structure, as you had mentioned, but also some players that were willing to get it in, and some interesting, some limping and defending. If you're going to limp, you got to defend. I'll say that. But I've been incredibly impressed by SS Train. She's played very well. She's certainly got some good cards that she's seen that have really benefited her, but very impressed by her. Ebony, always an impressive player to play against. And, Pimp Daddy 2 and Patty Cat, not to be short-sold. They've also done a great job of getting to where they are now, getting to the money. Are going to have to start probably getting a little bit more active if they want to see a share of those first or second place prizes, though. What about yourself? What do you see?
You're gonna have to get all in. That's the nature of the beast. You're gonna have to be getting all in, and you're gonna just have to hope it goes your way. And that's the nature of the beast, especially as we get shorter stacked. Like what you really don't do is let yourself dwindle down to like 10 big blinds or less than 10 big blinds, to where you're not going to get a lot of folds to a single raise, and you definitely aren't going to get folds if you 3-bet. Like if you have 15 big blinds, like somebody could min raise, and you could shove over them, and you could get folds. Like they're not going to be priced in. You could actually get respect. When you get much lower than that, that starts to go away.
Especially with the particular big stacks that we have here, Pimp Daddy 1 and SS Train, shown that they're definitely willing to get involved. They're willing to make a lot of races.
Yeah, they're not afraid to lay down the law.
Yeah, and they're probably going to find the right frequencies to call you down as well. As you mentioned, if you get down below 10 big blinds, they're going to be calling off pretty wide if they raise and you shove. So you're in a pretty tough spot with no fold equity.
Yeah.
It was at 8:35. Well, now 2 minutes. Look, because we still have.
I think they're just looking to get the tournament clock fixed after that impromptu break. And we're going to get going again. Some more four-handed Moneymaker Tour final table action in this ladies event.
A little psycho about this stuff,
Scan these
so
cards one more time.
I wanna.
Thank you. 2 folds. 3 folds. 4 folds.
I'm just shoving the ace there.
Yeah.
Gonna limp, and now Ebony gonna put her to the test. Patty Cat facing a decision for her tournament life, and gonna lay it down.
Yeah, I agree. I think you probably do want to go ahead and shove. And if you do limp, you have to be willing to call it off sometimes.
Yeah, like if I'm limping that hand, it's with the intention of calling it off against an aggressive opponent,
For sure.
which is what I have on my left here. I would love to look weak and actually have it, and then they attack my perceived weakness. That's what you want.
Yeah, most definitely. Did not work out for her in that position, though. And
Ebony
Daddy
seizing the
won.
moment.
Yeah, continuing to show that aggression that has been very timely so far.
3 folds.
Patty Cat gonna go for another limp.
Probably
Pimp Daddy
getting punished
won
again.
with the sevens. How big does she go?
1 raises. 42.
42, so
Half
about
X.
40% of the effective stack. SS Train probably just going to bow out here. Patty Cat going to go for the limp
Very
call. Going to try and find herself a flop here as we're essentially flipping a coin, albeit in slower motion.
Go heads up.
Swing and a miss for the Queen Jack.
1 is all
Ace high flop going to be good for seat one's range. She will shove, and Patty Cat will make the fold. So Patty Cat on fumes now.
Really tough spot she finds herself in.
Is that McDonald?
Alright, that's it for me. Ladies, congratulations. Have fun.
And we got another dealer change happening here.
Thank you. I got a nickname as well.
She's won. She's won. If you want to congratulate her, she's only won.
Have fun.
Thank you.
I mean, he's got a nice little cheering section in the chat here.
Sometimes she plays.
One of the fun things about tournaments is supporting your friends, or perhaps supporting your favorite streamer.
Yeah, most definitely. The virtual rail. A fun thing to be a part of, for sure. And Ebony's got a strong one here.
Yeah. All right.
And you say that, and somebody's cheering on SS Train.
Love to see it.
We'll let the other two players take part in this hands. And SS Train gonna just rip the king. Pimp Daddy 2 with an ace, and with 6 big blinds.
She's got a call here. She does.
She's going to call. Looking to hold here. She's got ace deuce against king 7.
Somewhat fair fight.
It's Pimp Daddy and SSR. Or SS. What's your name? SSR.
Brief hold here.
It's, well,
Got the cards in the camera.
Pimp Daddy. Two. Pimp Daddy 2. Pimp Daddy 2.
10-9-6. That's a gutter for the king
Gutter.
7.
Will you
And an
There's the ace. So an 8 and an 8 alone for SS Train to knock out Pimp Daddy 2.
Do the SS train.
Alright, now you
That's
can
not
do
it.
And we'll do it.
Pimp Daddy 2. Gonna double up, gonna hang around.
Pimp Daddy 2 takes it down.
And now all the heat is on Patty Cat on that short stack. I think this slows down a little bit as they wait for some resolution with seat 4
Yeah.
going forward here. I agree with you, James. This has been a solid final table.
Yeah, we've seen some fantastic play so far. Action-packed for sure. Crazy to think we've seen all these hands in only an hour and a half. Unbelievable action. Very exciting.
What's the purpose of the nicknames? Well, the players get to choose their name on the stream as long as it's reasonably polite. And it's mostly for fun. And most of the players went that route tonight to use some sort of nickname. And yeah, that's their choice. Even on our cash game streams, you'll see some nicknames get used. Crazy Frenchman wondering if they'll chop it. I'm not so sure. Like, I think there's at least one player here who is intent on playing to win. And full respect to that. And I believe that's Bet on Drew that's entered the shot there.
Yeah, based on the talk that they had at the bubble, I would be a little bit surprised if we saw a chop, unless the cards went a certain way. And as you mentioned, one of the players gets eliminated. But definitely fair. I love playing shorthanded, and you don't get to the final 4 in a tournament that often.
If I'm SS Train, first of all, I'm delighted that I have jacks, but I'm also not so inclined to chop as it is right now.
Agreed.
With these stacks hanging around, and you probably think you have an edge over them. I'm not huge on chopping myself either. People are wondering, and look at this potential setup.
Oh boy.
Jacks versus Ace Jack suited. She's just going to call, and I think that's a function of Patty Cat being around with that stack.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll go heads
Makes a
up.
lot of sense. Let's hope for a fun flop.
All diamonds.
Monotone.
Overpair for the jacks, which do have a diamond. Ace Jack for Pimp Daddy 2. The hearts have essentially nothing here. I think this will be the end of the hands. SS Train going 30K, pretty small.
Yeah, I love the small sizing here. I do agree that I think that
Get called by a
Pimp Daddy just
pair.
has to let it go.
Yeah, you can get called by a pair here, but
By a
not going
pair
to be the
or
case here.
ace king or queen X of diamonds, none of which Pimp Daddy 2 had, and she does let it go.
Arlene doesn't think there'll be a chop, and she was in this tournament. So you'd know better than me. You were there. You were there playing with them.
Well, no, because the live stream slows the play down.
So how much is the anything?
15, yeah, it just went up.
Do you agree with the comment in the chat that there is no substitute for experience?
Yeah.
Which no doubt seat 1 already has in spades, but
Yeah. SS Train versus Ebony would be an epic heads up, I think.
no
And that
doubt
may
about
be what we get tonight. We'll see.
We do have 2 at the table that would definitely love to spoil that party.
Hey, SS Train.
I'm looking at your
No,
stack.
SS Train, you wouldn't. Hey, SS Train.
Seat 1 gonna limp. That suited Jack. Probably just a free look situation. Club draw. And a pair. Which is a mile ahead of 6 high as we go check, check.
Maybe not the
Board
card
was
that
straight.
she wanted to see. Yeah.
Checking
Probably
for
in
pot
check call
control.
mode.
Check,
Yeah.
check. Certainly wouldn't have to fold to a turn bet. And 6 on the end. So SS Train is actually going to spike on the end. Check, check.
But Ebony does take it down.
Well, yeah, Ebony with a jack. That's right.
Not a surprise to see a relatively tame pot there with the 2 big stacks going at it.
I'm not slowing down anything. These don't come into play. I would like to color up the way that I do things.
Yeah, this entire chat doesn't think Ebony's going to chat. Yeah, she's a competitive player. I don't blame her.
You
Yeah.
don't have to take them off. We can use them.
And she survived the most brutal beat we've seen thus
Yeah.
far. The nut straight, losing to nut flush.
100% if I want to make it like 32.
And she is still in this tournament.
It's supposed to be raised up. Because it's going to screw up my action track. Action track doesn't have the 1K.
And it looks like we're up now 10, 15, 15.
I'm folded.
SS Train with an ace.
Still be in play.
Probably should be jamming here.
Yeah, I don't recall what C3's got chip-wise.
I want to say it's about 10 bigs. I would put max pressure on that.
If it's 10 bigs, all in is the answer. Looks like they're cleaning up some of the yellow chips as they go here. 10, 15, 15. If we were taking a break, they would actually be racing off the yellow chips at this point. We wouldn't need them anymore. Okay, so Pimp Daddy 2's actually jammed over the min race from SS Train.
Wow, and she has her
got her
dominated,
picked.
although, yeah, we're going to see a lot of chops with these hands.
And so SS Train actually with a choice here. That's what the pause is. There's actually a choice here. She's
Now it
facing
makes
an
a lot more
all-in. Probably got a little more than she bargained for with the min raise.
From Pimp Daddy 2, I am not calling this all in against SS Train.
Yeah.
SS Train.
Yeah, like that would be a fairly chunky double up, especially when you can just wait out C4.
Yeah. Pimp Daddy 2 really hasn't gotten out of line either. That's by far the weakest I think we've seen where she's shown aggression as far as holdings.
You get one deep run and then they're like, this is what
It isn't. I know it isn't. It isn't.
Eric appreciates Drew's apparel there, this pink sweatshirt that says DJ, and I'm not sure where you get one of those.
Yeah, I think no matter what.
Bet on Drew, also a streamer. He and
Spectrum you're on, right? Like,
Ebony know each other.
If you play cash, the tournaments are harder. If you play tournaments, the cash is harder.
I love that. This is definitely hard.
King 10 raises it up. Queen Jack, defense button.
This is so sad, I can't even call this.
Big blinds reluctantly folding. That's a bunch of her chips that went in pre-flop. Doesn't even get the CF flop. Ace-7-7. King 10 still good.
Do love this sizing.
The old min bet. Gonna get floated by SS Train, not believing her yet. Deuce of spades on the turn. Nobody helped by this. Third 7 on the end.
Very
The king will be
interesting.
good if we get to showdown. Check,
do.
check. Trip sevens with ace king for Pimp Daddy 1, Ebony in seat 1. People wanted to see payouts. Show you the payouts real quick. Fifth place got 950. Fourth place 1140. All these players have locked up 1140, and then next jump is 1580, going up to 3800 up top. So there you go. And as Chris just suggested in the chat, Poker Atlas has the payouts as well. How many runners did the event have? That's also available on Poker Atlas, and the number is 36 there. 36 entries. So he did end up with a little bit of overweight on this 10K guarantee. 240 the buy-in for this tournament. Oh, and she has to give the walk. The small blinds. Well, she has just a couple hands left to find a spot. She's got less than 2 big blinds now. Patty Cat in seat 4. Not sure you're ever supposed to fold small blind except for maybe like 7 deuce offsuit there.
Yeah.
And worth noting, since we're talking about sub 2 big blinds, I believe Texas Card House, even in these Moneymakers events, we are big blind first as opposed to ante first. So the big blind will get posted first, and then you'd have less of an ante as opposed to the other way around, which some rooms are ante
If
first.
you find yourself in that spot,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy.
Yeah. I think this is a Walker SS train. So if I'm Patty Cat, I'm shoving any 2 cards under the gun right now. Because I don't even want to put a third of my chips in as an ante that's dead and I can't double those chips.
Yeah. Just don't look.
Just don't look. Or actually pretend to look. I would pretend to look and then I would shove.
A bit. Oh, yeah, obviously. This is an easy shove. Yeah, good call. Good call.
The math says this is what you got to do. We don't have any other tiny stacks, so like ICM's not the factor here. If there were other stacks and there was craziness, we could do. And she's got 10-9 suited. That's great.
Oh, yeah. Easy one.
All in. Good luck, Petty Cat. Like she's never, ever, ever getting this through.
No. This is
Pimp
a call
Daddy
with
should
any
not,
two.
she should not look at her cards.
Yeah, call with any two.
She should not look at her cards. She's going to get the price tag. And she's ahead with a queen.
7,000 to call.
What's it in? Queen 4. Ahead of the 10-9.
9-10 again,
You're notched, by the way.
Remember?
I want you to know you're notched. But good luck to you.
Remember 9-10? Right now?
I don't remember anything.
You don't remember
9-10, oh boy, Patty Cat.
You remember?
Calling back a reference to a 9-10 suited that worked out really well for her against Pimp Daddy 2 about 30 minutes ago. Remember 9-10. Oh boy.
That's a lot of clubs. That's a gutter too. Holy
Oh,
Comboli.
Good hand for 9-10.
There it is.
9-10, Patty Cat.
Remember 9-10.
Where's that 20?
I reminded you. You remember that 9-10?
Remember 9-10. Patty Cat with the full double.
Wow.
I told her, remember
She's
9-10?
found her hand.
I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Nicely done,
This is
Patty
fun.
Cat.
The bad news for Patty Cat is she's going to get the big blinds, and all those chips that she just got are going to have to go back in the pot.
I'm gonna go in the blind. Don't worry. Let's go already.
Which they were just mentioning her. So what was that, like 44, 57? She's got about 60 in stack, maybe 65.
65 is the number that we've got here.
65 in stack. She's got to put in 30 already. So
30 if that's going in. So she's in a spot where she should probably be calling off with any 2.
I take the 20 like it's nothing.
And Ebony basically saying, I think the 10-9 offsuit is better than any 2. She's going to find
And
the bad
SS
news from SS
Train.
Train, though.
Has an even better hand than that. Ace Jack suited. And this would be a wonderful 3-bet.
Probably going to go very small sizing if I'm her.
We'll take 2 more shots and 2 more water, please.
Now, if she did she go for the call? I think it was a call.
Oh, wow.
I was gonna say was if she were to 3-bet, there's a world where Patty Cat can fold and pray that something silly happens, and she's gonna fold. And like who knows? Maybe she gets a free page up. Maybe we get another mega cooler between these two players. We've already seen one. I don't think we're gonna see another one though. Ace high flop is gonna be wonderful for SS Train.
Unless Ebony gets
Pimp
really out
Daddy
of line
one
here. She does not.
doesn't have a thing.
It's like one of the little pigs from the 3 little pigs hanging by the hair of my kitty.
I was going to say, this is a board you can check back.
Yeah, there's nothing you're afraid of, really.
Hoping that your opponent catches up. Maybe also, again, taking into account the stack sizes and ICM considerations. Do allow for something like this. A raise with no equity. And that's a card to continue if you're Ebony, if you did want to raise that turn. I would have liked to go bigger.
I don't think you get many folds at all for 20%. And she gets snapped.
And SS Train taking it down.
I don't want to change my mojo.
Give me the glasses.
Will this be the moment for Patty Cat?
No.
Please,
Yeah.
don't wear it.
No.
She said it was the 20 or the glasses. You don't get both.
Yeah. I'm not changing the mojo. Don't change it.
Some great banter that we've had from these players too. Obviously enjoying the experience, which is awesome to see.
Maybe I should.
She changed it in
Very
last
fun final table.
Love to see it. SS Train with an ace. Gonna be raising.
Remember 9-10.
Remember.
Worked out for Pimp Daddy too, so she
Patty
very
Cat
wisely
dissing the
gets
3
out of the way.
deuce.
Train, trying to run this.
More blinds for SS Train.
I got an inch and a full toll, baby.
Listen, Esther,
Playing her big stack very well. Very impressed so far.
Absolutely, this lead continues to grow for her. Pretty much unstoppable since the flush versus straight hands. Now Patty Cat's really going to have to find something here. Not 7 deuce.
No, that won't cut it.
Next hand is going to be the one. Suited ace for Ebony. She goes for the limp. Free will sounds good to SS Train.
Another
Well, they're all red. They're just the wrong shape.
Yep.
SS Train going to outflop her with a pair of 6s.
Does choose to go ahead and bet. Needs some protection. And gets it completely. Takes it down. Well done, SS Train.
Over 600,000 chips now.
I believe that there's just over $1 million in play, so 60%, you're gotta be feeling good if you're her.
Absolutely.
These shots keep getting bigger and bigger every time I wait. By the time this stream is over, she will just be hitting you a caress.
Patty Cat should not even legitimately be looking here. She's going to go all in with the Jack 6. How many
Glad that
takers does
found
she
it,
get?
yeah.
She'll get at least one taker.
Ebony looking to probably isolate here.
Well, graphics say she calls the 25K. SS Train will duck out. Pimp Daddy 2, only 10K more. It's not a great hands, but
29.
Yes.
One worse
You
than the
also
computer
say hot
hand,
odds.
but she's getting very good odds. She
gonna
does
fold. Gonna
probably smart fold.
let C1 do the work. What you would hate is to end up in third place and then you're out and you've given a ladder to the short stack.
Wouldn't
Patty
be
Cat gonna need a
surprised.
jack or a 6 to hang around here as we go to the run out.
Okay, give me a 4 now.
Gut shot for jack 6 now. A jack, a 6, or a 4.
Or runner, spade.
Give Patty a fold, pimp. Give Patty a fold.
6 will
Come
not
on,
just
Josephine.
queen.
I mean, Joseph.
Here comes the river.
Oh!
Here's the 6!
Oh,
Sorry, Pimp. I'm sorry.
the cat has 9
Because
lives.
these celebrations are worth it. I'm sad, but also at least I get a coffee.
Unbelievable. Patty Cat finding another miracle card, this time on the river, to double up
Josephine, please
more
get
than
up. Leave the podium.
and stay alive. Well done, Patty Cat.
Apparently so, like 5 times. Hey, Pimp Daddy, 5 times already.
I know.
5 times. How many lives does she have? Yes. Pimp Daddy won.
How many lives does she have? Well, she's got one more, so we are
Yeah.
still trying to answer that question. It has not been resolved. Again, will find herself in the unfortunate spot of having to pop in 30 for the big blind plus ante. Does see a fold from Ebony. Probably going to see a fold from SS Train here too. 5-2 offsuit, just not ahead of really anything. And likely to get it all in if you do make any raise versus Patty Cat.
Do you have 9-10 again?
Did she
Patty
just
Cat gonna
get
get a
whip?
walk.
Oh, wow, or walk, excuse me. 8-7 suited, a hand she probably would have been okay playing, but much more favorable to get a walk when you're that short in the big blind.
Well, I'm hoping for Pittsburgh wins so we can try to change. We don't want to play.
Like this, you know what? That's plenty. Like that's plenty to find yourself a double and another double, and you're right in there.
I mean, yeah, we're in the money.
One of the first tournaments I ever called, there was like a 19-1 comeback heads up.
Wow.
Like it was wild. Like there were some blinds all ins that went the right way, and suddenly you got chips.
Yeah, it can change just like that. Like you said, variance.
SS Train with the min raise.
Oh
Pimp
boy.
Daddy 2 with the queens. This should be all in, and this is not a lot of chips. So Ace-9 may feel compelled to call off here.
Probably a hard one to fold. Again, Pimp Daddy 2 has not gotten out of line at all.
And
even
Patty
saw
Cat
her
ducked
limp
out of there
escape.
with an ace, by the way. She ducked out of there with an ace. Like, she could get herself a ladder here.
No, I don't, SS Train. Quit trying to knock me out.
Got to put in basically 3.5 bigs here to the 10 big blind pot.
Hot odds say yes. Like, we don't know that she has queens.
She does make
She
the
does
call.
make the call.
She'll see that she made the right call for sure with the big stack. And now Pimp Daddy 2 all in and at risk with the ladies in the ladies tournament.
Can they hold? Let's find out. $8-6-6 so far, so good for the queens.
Bro, I thought I had 8s. I was like,
That's a straight still looking for an
straight
ace.
or no backdoor straight, so now an ace or an ace only.
Another double up. 6 is full of queens.
There you go. Found her victory dance. Pimp Daddy 2. Gonna find some chips as well. Nice big double up to get to about like 13 bigs.
Yeah, maybe slightly more than that. 205, that would be, yeah, like 13, 14.
Not a couple more, please. You got exactly how many blows you deserve.
Are you in there, Mimi?
Yeah, but it's red every time.
Still? I'm caught on these shitty cards like.
Poker God loves her. She survived like five times. 5 times. She survived like 3 hours, 2 hours, you name it.
Talking about the Patty Cat, the 9 lives Patty Cat in seat 4. Remember, 910.
It's a drink.
I don't know what that waitress is.
Enjoying themselves
That's a full drink.
This is
at this final table.
No, I'm saying if
Do
you
love
do
to
it,
see
you
it.
put with a glass.
Cheers, Pimp Daddy.
That's not
Pimp
a
Daddy
shot.
2. Need to clarify because we got multiple Pimp Daddies at this table.
We do.
She's trying to get that 60.
Glad to see them having fun. Poker should be fun.
big ass shot. I mean, big.
This is when poker's at its best.
Not allowed to curse on the stream?
I don't know. I don't. Big old shot.
Well then.
Good luck. Good luck.
Patty
Good luck,
Cat.
Patty. Good luck.
Gonna get it in there with her ace. Maggie's the count.
Call. Yep.
7s. This does feel like a call. This is almost half of her chips. She's gonna reshove.
Which makes sense.
SS Train hasn't folded yet.
Yeah, let's get that.
I can't wait to see what she has.
Yeah. Let's get that catch up on the card reader. Oh boy.
Queens!
Oh,
She has queens!
Oh, the ladies!
Oh my god! We could be heads up. We could be
Oh,
heads up in a moment
wow.
here.
You can't fold. You can
She's gonna
never
recount.
fold here.
I can't believe she hasn't snapped.
Good luck. Good luck, guys.
Ebony is in pain right now, probably seeing that SS Queen has a tough decision. Knows that probably a lot of the tough decisions SS Queen have are hands that have her beat or destroyed. And like you said, we are probably getting heads up.
There we go. There we go.
Wow.
If these queens can hold, we're going to be heads up.
I didn't know if you knew
And
that.
even if they can't, they're probably still going to beat Pimp Daddy 1, which does mean we'll get to 3-handed.
Yeah, and there is a side pot here between the 7s and the queens here.
Wow.
Oh
The
my.
ladies just held in the ladies tournament. I believe
And,
they were black queens again last hand as well.
Fellow lefty over here.
Also worth noting that if SS Train scoops, it'll be Patty Cat getting 4th, Ebony getting 3rd, as Ebony had more chips to start with.
Oh, wow. We got people in the chat calling for the cards they want. Gonna sort out this side pot.
Unfortunate for Ebony to run into it again against SS Train. That's the nature of the beast, though.
Yeah.
I think we're just getting the side pot and the main pot right.
Mimi's gonna come back and be heads up.
Yeah.
Queen,
She's gonna be like, what the fuck happened?
the
Mimi, look at this, a 3-way.
favorite here, Queens.
What's up with you and
Can
her?
take it all.
I got a 7 coming, it's okay.
Ebony saying she's got that 7 coming. Don't worry about her.
Let's find out. Here comes the flop. 9-6-4. Queens are ahead.
7, a backdoor, an ace.
7 on the turn.
Another
Oh, boy.
4.
Now a 7 or an ace is the only thing that's going to change the outcome here.
The river is another 6.
6.
Queens and 6s. Good game, Ebony. Good game, Patty Cat. Bowing out in 3rd and 4th, respectively.
GG's. Oh my gosh. The SS Train. Just an absolute unstoppable force at this final table.
Almost
Pulling in
going
a
to get to the promised
huge
land.
double knockout.
So third place will be 1580, fourth will be 1140.
Go to the bathroom like
Their
5
heads up,
times. That way you
2530
go.
for each of these players. SS Train Pimp Daddy 2. They've locked up 2530 rather, and 3800 up top. So playing for just under $1,300 difference here.
Pull out my way. Me and SS Train.
These numbers up for you real quick.
Oh, I didn't have outs.
These are our payouts.
15?
And, as we
As
get
you
to heads up
mentioned.
here.
Yeah, playing for 1,300. SS Train. Let's get updated counts here. Over
King, queen.
80% of the chips in play.
Yeah. Be sure hit like if you haven't done so already as we get closer to the end of the tournament, probably.
Yeah. The train absolutely rolling. Over 50 bigs heads up right now.
Aside from the King Queen, 50K, Pimp Daddy 2.
Oh boy. Oh wow.
Here we go.
Oh
King
man.
Queen. King Queen, if it can hold, we have our winner. Pimp Daddy 2
SS
looking
Train.
for an 8 to prolong this tournament.
I'm ending this. I'm ending this.
Pimp Daddy 2 saying she's ending it. Let's see.
888.
Oh my god, already?
Yes.
10-9.
10-9-3.
Back door.
Yes, King.
Gutter for SS
Hearts.
Train here.
We're working for SS Train too. Oh boy, that cuts
Hearts
an 8
are
out away.
Throwing
Yeah.
very thin here.
I have 3 outs.
Down to
One
just
of the
2
two
outs.
8s
A
left.
black 8. That's
Flush.
not it. SS Train has won our ladies event. Event 4 of the Moneymaker Tour here at Texas Card House, Houston. SS Train taking home $3,800.
That was fun.
An amazing night, an amazing run, some amazing decisions. Well played, SS Train. Congratulations.
Absolutely fantastic job by SS Train. Well deserved. Ran well at the right time, but much more importantly, played a fantastic night of poker.
And congratulations to all of our players.
Yes, to all of them.
Making the final table, making the money here. What a night it was.
It was great. Really appreciate you joining me in the booth. Thank you so much to everybody that came along for this heck of a ride that we had. Appreciate all of the dealers, appreciate production, appreciate everybody that helped to bring the Moneymaker Tour to TCH Houston. Only getting started, and if all the events are like this, man, do we have a great couple weeks in store.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here. And thanks again to all the staff making this happen. They're a great bunch, and we couldn't do it without them. We couldn't do it without all of you in the chat. Thanks for being here. So on that note, I think it's time to sign off.
Yeah, signing off from TCH Houston. Congratulations to SS Train. Y'all have a good night.